Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending where on the globe you are. Hey, it's Insane Rider, and welcome to The Budget Gamer. Tonight, I'm going to take a look at a poison deck. At the same time, I'll go ahead and be kind of grinding on the new event, the emblem event that's taking place right now, where ultimately you got to get to 45 wins. I'll work on that as well, but I wanted to take a look at a poison deck that I've put together. It's a dark deck, and it's kind of centered around an ability called Venoshock. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what this deck is going to be put together with. So it's going to start off with 2 Grimers. So Grimer, basically, I'm running this version here. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. And then Muk, who's a heavy hitter. Your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned. This attack does 50 more damage on top of the 70, so we're looking at 120 point damage. Pretty strong right there. It's a 3 energy attack, however. And then for the other combination of a Venoshock type attack, I'm just going to start off. We're going to have to get to 2 evolutions to get that engaged, where Muk is only 1 evolution. But we're going to start off with a Venipede. A single energy ram attack for 20. The evolution then goes to Whirlipede. Another single energy poison sting. The poison is now, the opponent is now poisoned. And then Scolipede. It's a 2 energy attack. Again, Venoshock, 70 damage plus another 50 if the opponent's poisoned. So I'm going to give this a try tonight. It's kind of fun to play a poison deck with the poison damage and seeing how opponent reacts to it. I'm going to do this while I grind towards 45, and then tomorrow night I'll be back on again at the same time using my what I've been calling the Island Blaine deck, which is a fire deck centered around Ninetales and Rapidash. And I'll be trying to grind to see how close, how many victories I can get, how close I can get to 45. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. Again, thank you for joining tonight. I hope you enjoy the stream, and let's get started. Gonna jump over to my first match here, and I'll be in the versus Venoshock, and we're off to the races. So the basic strategy that I'm going to be looking to do is apply poison, either through Grimer or Whirlipede, and then depending on which one I'm evolving, I'll be bringing in the heavy hitter Muk or Scolipede to do the damage. I do have 1 leaf in the deck to help with retreat. So let's go ahead and get started. So I got a Venipede to bring up front, and with that I'll start my battle. So overall the deck is 2 Grimer, 2 Muk, 2 Venipede, 2 Whirlipede, 2 Scolipede, 1 Potion, 1 X Speed, 2 Pokeball, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Koga for Muk, 1 Giovanni, 1 Sabrina, and 1 Leaf. Alright, let's see how we're started here. Let's go with a little Professor's Research. Looks like we're up against a Psychic Mewtwo EX deck. Although I see a Ghastly out there, so looks like we'll have some Gengar action going as well. I'm going to put Grimer to the bench. And with that, not a whole lot else I can do. I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. Let's see here. What does the opponent got in store for me? Professor's Research to get things rolling. We've got a Ralt. Mewtwo receives the first energy. Okay, so Venipede's going to immediately go into Whirlipede. So I'm going to be able to land a Poisonous Sting. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring forth, I'll use Sabrina to bring one of the bench Pokemon to the front, into the active spot. That'll at least force my opponent to play an X speed or perhaps even use an energy to bring that Mewtwo back to the active spot. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and attack with Poison Sting. The 20 points plus the advantage is 40. and then the poison damage, and there's 10 more. So good little start. So I do have the advantage fighting with their weakness. Alright, so we got Haunter. We got an evolution of Haunter. We've got Kirlia on the back. And so my opponent's doing very good so far in getting their Gardevoir going. Pokeball, bring another card to their deck, another basic. 2 energy for Mewtwo EX. And a second Mewtwo EX. So my opponent's looking pretty good right now, especially if they get Gardevoir, they're in the driver's seat. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Scolipede to the front. Now, I'm going to also go ahead and get this Grimer evolved into Muk. With that, I'm going to go ahead and apply this second energy here. And with that, I will go ahead and attack. So the Haunter, kind of cannon fodder for my opponent. With 2 Mewtwo EX and potentially a Gardevoir coming up pretty soon, my opponent's sitting in a very advantageous position. And sure enough, first 3 turns they're able to basically evolve all the way. So they got a pretty great draw as far as what they would need in the hand. Pretty much going right the way they would want it to go. Not a lot I can do against, you know, getting your exact hand the way you need it to start fast, strong, and hard. So, and I'm still a little bit weak on my bench. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this energy. Not a whole lot else I can do at this particular moment. So with that, I'll end my turn. So I drew the advantage in the sense of damage advantage, but unfortunately the hand I've been dealt has just not been that good, and my opponent got a great deal. And this deck that they're playing is typically the deck I use when I'm grinding for wins as well. But I thought to kind of lengthen it out a little bit further. With that, the match is over. I have nothing else on the bench, and so I take a loss. All right. So almost a near perfect deal, if not a perfect deal for my opponent. And let's dive in again. Level 23 opponent. Let's see what's in store this time. I lose the coin flip, so that's a good start. Venipede to the active spot. I'm sitting on a Professor's Research, Pokeball, Leaf, and Scolipede, so with that, I'll go ahead and get this match started. My opponent, Farfetch'd, Mewtwo EX. Professor's Research, so probably could be looking at another same deck as what we just battled against. Yep, there's a Ralt, so they're off to a great start as far as their hand. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with a Pokeball. And bring Grimer to the bench. Professor's Research. See if Professor Oak can help me out. And with that, I'll put my 1 energy. And go ahead and attack. And attack with Ram for 20 points of damage. Again, basically, the simple strategy for this is just to try to apply poison with either Whirlipede or Grimer, and then evolve to the next evolution, which basically it's a plus 50 attack because they both have Venoshock. So they would do 70 points of damage, plus the 50 would be 120. Alright, so Muk, I'm going to go ahead and execute that evolution. Venopede's only down to 20. With that, I will go ahead and apply this energy to Muk right there. And from there, I will go ahead and retreat back. Muk to the active spot. Not a whole lot else I can do right now. So with that, I'll end my turn. Alright, so sure my opponent is jonesing to get their a Gardevoir active. Mewtwo EX and Gardevoir are hard combination to stop. Alright, I'm being asked to move my Venipede back to the front. And Farfetch with an attack. My opponent takes an early 1-0 lead. And Muk to the front spot. Again, my bench is looking a little bit bare. Two hands. I haven't had a very favorable deal so far. Alright, so the energy to Muk. Leaf, Giovanni, nothing. Koga. Sabrina is about the only thing I consider right here, but I will hold off on that. And with that, I have to end my turn. So right now, I've been kind of short on my bench for Pokemon. Mew has now 150, so we're probably going to see... Oh, I would have thought we may have saw attack back, but with the 120 damage staring down my opponent, they probably didn't want to step up first. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll throw a potion. I'm really obviously struggling right now for my bench. I'm not sure where my cards are. Go ahead and assign this energy. And with that, I will go ahead and attack. So it ties it up 1-1, but it looks like my opponent's in the driver's seat so far. Especially since I'm struggling to get any of my other basics on the bench so far. Basic Mewtwo, non-EX version to the front, makes a great wall. 120 health. It does have a 2 retreat. Alright, Ralts has been evolved, so 1 step away from Gardevoir. And another Mewtwo EX to the bench. My opponent's just kind of blasting along, doing really well. I think what I'll do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'd rather start working on one of the EXs. So I'm going to go ahead and use Sabrina. I doubt if we're going to see Kirlia come forward. So let's, most likely we're going to see the EX with no energy. Oh, unless of course they think they're going to be ready for Gardevoir. Okay. I'm going to assign one energy that I have. Still struggling to get my bench going, unfortunately. So if my opponent has that final evolution, then pretty much this match is over. And there it is. So 2 hands, 2 matches, 2 bad deals on what I've received. My opponent only took one extra turn to get to Gardevoir, so they had still a pretty favorable deal. And with that, they'll finish off the match. I have nothing on the bench. Yeah, we won't concede. We'll go ahead and let them knock my Muk out. And with that, that match is over. Alright, not off to a good start. Now, the last few nights, I've been streaming for about 2 hours each time, and it seems like the first hour, it's really hard to get a decently dealt hand, and then the second hour usually just magically transitions the other direction. Coin flips are landing my way, I'm getting the hands I need, and I end up winning quite a few in the second hour. But this first hour always seems to be a struggle. So tonight, 0 for 2. Both matches the hands I've dealt were pretty horrible. I can't seem to get more than 2 Pokemon out onto the bench. And I've lost both time by not having enough. So Grammar to the front. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. My opponent starts off with a Pokeball. They're playing Ponyta. So we could be looking at a Blaine Fire deck right here. Starting off with a red card. That's probably going to help me out because it wasn't looking too good. I'll take that Professor's Research. And a Grammar. Another Grammar to the bench. Professor's Research. Hopefully he can help out. Bring me a few more basics. 2 Pokeballs. We'll go ahead and play both of those. 1 Venipede. 2 Venipedes. So at least we're filling up the bench this time. So that's a good start, at least. Alright, so Venipede 1 to the bench. Venipede 2 to the bench. Grammar with a point of energy. And with that, Grammar will go ahead and attack for Poisonous Gas for 10. And we see a Vulpix on my opponent's side, so Rapidash Ninetales. Great deck, especially with Celebi EX and Servitor out there. A pretty prominent, dominant deck. We should have all the big tournaments starting this weekend. It'll be interesting to see what the meta looks like with Celebi EX into the mix. Alright, here comes a coin flip, and it's tails, so Vulpix's Tail Whip doesn't stop me from attacking. Alright, so don't have anything as far as doesn't really make sense to use my Giovanni on that 10. I'm really looking for a Muk. I'm going to go ahead and apply this energy point to Grammar. And with that, we'll start with a Poison Gas attack. 10 points for the damage, 10 points for the poison, 20 total. There's a Ninetales to the front. Flamethrower, great attack, 90 points of damage. And my opponent beat me to that second evolution. So again, my hands that I'm being dealt hasn't been that favorable. Now I'm staring down a Ninetales in the front. I'm going to go ahead and go with this evolution here. I know I need three energy back there for my Muk. I'm facing 90 point damage, so but at this point I'm gonna go ahead and apply that energy there. I'm gonna ask Sabrina to help out a little bit. Force my opponent to use an X speed if they have it, or if not, they'll have to assign an energy. Might buy me a turn. And with that, I'll end my turn. Alright, so thanks for those of you who are on. So tonight we're looking at a budget Venoshock deck. So Venoshock being a 70 point damage attack with an additional 50 if your opponent is poisoned. Okay, so I'm going to apply the second energy to Muk. I'm going to hope for that Grimer. Or, excuse me. I'm going to hope... let me catch my thoughts here. I'm not going to retreat. Giovanni, I'm not going to do anything there. Let me go ahead and end my turn. Yeah, I already got what I need. I just need to get my my Muk to the front. Got my X speed ready to go. Venipede can come back. In the event I've got Muk up front or Grimer up front, where I was going to go a little bit earlier with this, as I do have a Leaf in the deck as well to help out with retreats. So there's a Whirlipede. So I think what I'll do here is Whirlipede, so it's a 2 retreats and 90 health. So I'm either looking at 100. I think I'm going to go ahead and play this Whirlipede. I think I'm going to go with the gamble. I'm going to go with the gamble that I won't get... I'll be favorable with the coin flip. And with that, I'm going to attack. I really need to lay down the poison to really make this deck effective, so I'm going to kind of stick with that plan. In this case, it's all going to come down to a coin flip. My opponent plays Professor Research. Has Ninetales in the back with 2 energy, all ready to go with a flamethrower. Rapidash receives a heal. A second energy. And here comes that coin flip. Let's see how my gamble turned out. The gamble paid off for me this turn. There's a 40-point strike right there. Okay, so with that, I could go with Scolipede. I think I'll do that. Let's go ahead and go with the Scolipede. We got the evolution there. I'm going to go ahead and assign this second energy. I don't need to use Giovanni at this point, because Rapidash is already poisoned. And Leaf is only for retreat, so with that, I'll go ahead and attack. And that ties the match up at 1 each. My opponent is a little bit struggling right now with keeping their bench filled, so hopefully they can pull another basic. Otherwise, okay, there's a Blaine. So with that, Scolipede will be knocked out. That gives my opponent their second score. But unfortunately, my opponent is struggling with the same situation I had the last 2 hands they conceded. Yep. Is just not getting enough basics onto the bench to even make it to 3 points. My 2 losses, I think it was on the second point that I lost. All right. So we get our first victory of the night. We get our 5th win. Got the bronze emblem. Next one to go, it looks like, is 5 to 25. Okay. Off to the races. Quick thanks. And with that, we'll dial up another match. So Venoshock, budget deck, nothing higher than 3 diamond. Nothing more than 2 evolutions for the standard budget decks. Tomorrow night I'll be going back to an ultra budget deck, Blaine deck, with a couple little nuances to it. And I'll be using that initially to see if I can't grind some wins for towards a 45. If things go south for me, I'm not doing very well, I'll probably roll over to my typical deck I use, which is a Mewtwo EX Gardevoir deck. Grimer to the front. Another Grimer to the bench. It was the Mewtwo EX deck that I did for the win 5 in a row and the previous emblem event. With that, I'll go ahead and start. Probably the deck I'm the most familiar playing. Yeah, my opponent's thinking through things at the moment. So on my hand, I got a Pokeball, a Koga, and a Scolipede. Marshadow to the front. Geodude. So it looks like we're going to see a little Golem action in this match. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and play the Venipede down. Got Pokeball. I'm going to go ahead and use that. That'll pull up the second Venipede, so at least I got my bench full. Now I'm just going to be looking for the second evolutions. I need a Muk and a Whirlipede. Not a whole lot I can do here, so with that I'll end my turn. And I hope you all who are on, I hope you guys are having good success and luck getting through the the emblem event. I haven't really started it much. I played a few matches last night during the live stream. Didn't really play any today, and just kind of getting started back up on it again tonight. I think we have till like January 9th to finish it, so that's plenty of time to get 45 wins. Opponent, well, it looks like they're having a connection issue. So the basic strategy for this deck, again, is just to apply poison through either Whirlipede or Grimer, and then get your evolution next stage and hit with a Venoshock for either, well, for 120 points of damage with either Scolipede or Muk. So that's the basic premise of this. There's one Leaf trainer in the supporter card in the deck to help with the retreats, Grimer requiring 3. And Muk, I think, is also the same. So in the event I want to pull a Grimer or a Muk back, hopefully I have Leaf available to help out with that. And then also I have one Sabrina for one bench swap, one Giovanni for a little bit extra damage. I have one Koga in the deck as well. It looks like we've lost our opponent, unfortunately. And that Koga is to pull my Muk if it's almost out. I can basically reset it by pulling it back into my hand. Okay, Pokeball's not going to really do me any good this particular match. So with that, I'm going to attack with Grimer. Unfortunately, my opponent's gone, so it's probably going to bail out here pretty soon. But that's the basic strategy premise of this deck. 2 Professor's Research, the typical 2 of those, 2 Pokeballs that get out both, you know, all the basics you can. 1 X speed to kind of offset Leaf. I could have went with 2 Leafs, but I wanted one in the form of an item card and not have 2 trainer cards. So if I wanted to X speed and Sabrina or something else, I still could do something like that using one item card and 1 supporter card. All right, so well, that ties it up. 2 wins, 2 losses, although that's not really much of a win. Okay, on we go. Sorry about that, D-Dog. I wish you could have finished that match. And on to the next one. So we've seen a couple of Mewtwo EX. We've seen a Fire deck. Didn't really get to see much of that deck. Looked like it was going to be a Golem deck. Okay, so I lose the coin flip, which means I really win the coin flip, unless of course you've played a water deck and you think you can pull enough energy out from Misty to finish a match on the first turn, potentially. Grimer to the front. So I am sitting on Muk as well. I've got Professor's Research, Pokeball, and Potion. With that, I'll go ahead and hit Start Battle. Okay, so we've got Snivy, so we got a Servitor with maybe a Executor EX deck. Servitor feeding all the grass Pokemon. Pretty amazing card. I think it was kind of the sleeper card that really is one of the 2 main cards that's probably going to make a big impact to the meta. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and start with a Pokeball. Always using Pokeball before Professor's Research. Venipede to the bench. Professor Oak, let's see what he can do for me. Got a second one of him. I've got another Pokeball. Another Venipede, so I'm doing a little better in these last 3 matches, at least getting my bench filled out. I'm going to go ahead and give Grimer the 1 energy point. Nothing else I can really do from the bench, so with that, I will go ahead and attack for 10 points. And apply poison to Snivy. Okay, so I'm just seeing just grass energy stacking up in the energy zone, so it doesn't look like we have like a mixed bag of Pokemon and energy. Pokeball for my opponent. And now they've got a full bench, so they're looking pretty good. They're going to use an X speed, pull back, remove the poison. Again, poison can be removed during an evolution or a retreat. And unfortunately, poisons don't stack, so you can't have like 2 poisons or 3 poisons. All right, they're one step closer to getting where they need to be. Opponent thinking through things. Servine back there is going to be the threat if it gets through that next evolution. All right, so I've got this Whirlipede, so I'm going to go ahead and do an evolution here. I have Muk as well, but since Muk is a 3 energy attack, I'd rather just at this point assign Grimer so another energy and at least get something going here, especially with another poison. Let's go ahead and do Professor's Research. See if I can get some more help there from Professor Oak. There's my Scolipede, another Whirlipede. So we'll do a second evolution there. Looking pretty good right now. And with that, I will go ahead and attack. Great wall up there with Delmise. 100 health Pokemon. Okay, my opponent's got 3 cards in their hand. 1 energy to Delmise. Let's see if there's any bench activity. There's not. And 20 points to Grimer. Okay, so, well, Scolipede. And Scolipede. So, a very favorable deal to this hand for me. Muk to the front. I'm going to go ahead and use that energy. Might as well go ahead and use this potion. And with that, we'll attack. So there's the basic strategy, the basic premise of this deck is poison and then attack with your next evolution. Either the poison coming from Grimer or the poison coming from Whirlipede. Looks like my opponent, though, is kind of struggling as far as getting the hand that they need. Hopefully a Professor's Research will help them out. And there's a Superior, and there's an Executor, so they're sitting pretty good there. There's an 80+ attack right there. And a second Snivy to the bench. And with that Servitor really came in handy for them. Took out my big hitter, so let's go Scolipede to the front. With that, I'll go ahead and assign an energy. I'm going to ask Sabrina to help out. Execute to the front. There's that Servitor card, just an amazing card for a grass deck, and so perfectly timed to come out with Celebi EX. I played that one. I played that deck. It's a lot of fun. All right, go ahead and see what my opponent's got in store for me this turn. There's 2 energy automatically assigned right there. Executor to the front. Another evolution in the back. There's a 100-point attack. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this energy here. Don't have that Pokemon poison, but I need to make some progress here. But right now things aren't looking too good for me. Go ahead and attack. But the servitor on the table really changed the match around, and losing my Muk due to the servitor really was the hard hitter. Okay, my opponent takes a 2-1 lead. Obviously in the driver's seat. There's a Grimer. I'm going to move Grimer to the bench. With that, I will put this one energy to Scolipede. Not a whole lot else that makes sense. I'm definitely not going to retreat. So with that, I'll end my turn. This should be a win for my opponent. There's another 100 points of damage. And with that, I will go ahead and evolve my Muk. I'll use my leaf. Bring back Scolipede. Basically buying myself another turn. That's all I'm really doing. I just don't have the energy to cut up, and with that, I'll end my turn. Alright, opponent in the driver's seat. Servine, Superior. Executor up front with now 6 energy. Just pounding away at my active Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and play Koga. Not that it makes a difference. Back into my hand. Only thing I can do is play Scolipede. Doesn't really buy me much. And Grimer back out. And with that, not a whole lot I could do. Alright, this will finish off this match. Alright. Good match by my opponent. That Superior literally won the match for them. If they would have drawn that Superior, been able to evolve, I would have probably had a much better favorable outcome with my Muk, all with 3 energy already up front. Alright, send a thanks. And let's go on to the next battle. Hope you all are enjoying your night, morning, or afternoon, or evening. Perhaps you're playing along with me at the same time. I like to do the same thing. I like to pull up someone streaming, and then while I'm playing the game, my game, play with kind of watching them at the same time. Oh, opponent conceded. Okay. So I guess that evens it up. I'm same number of wins and losses. Although 2 of those 4 were disconnects or immediate concedes. Of course, 2 of my losses were pretty horrible dealt hands as well. Okay, my boy Blue. Love that icon. Let's see what is in store for me this match. Alright, I lost but won the coin flip. Grimer to the front. I'm sitting on 2 Scolipedes, a potion, and a professor's research. We'll go ahead and start the battle. But I've kind of found myself over the years as I'm into different video games to open up YouTube, find someone who's streaming, and then just kind of watch along as background and kind of see what's going on and with what they're doing, and then play my own games at the same time. All right, we got a Mew EX Brown. Beautiful card. I wish I could loot one of those. And then we got a second Mew on the bench as well, and a Ralts. Okay, so we're going to ask Professor Research card to see if Professor Oak can help me out. And I'll go ahead and assign this. No, I got a Whirlipede, 2 Scolipedes, not a link here, and I'll do a poison gas. Get the process started here, so as a quick 40 points of damage. And there's already an evolution on the bench, so one step closer to Gardevoir. Pokeball. Searching maybe for another Ralts. Or, wow, okay, Mewtwo EX. So this 3 EX is on the table. And one Gardevoir away from taking complete ownership of the match. I'm struggling with the bench right now. So it doesn't make sense for me to upgrade my Grimer. I'm going to hope Professor Oak can bring me some bench support. But he doesn't. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Well, we'll go ahead and apply this point of energy. And with that, we'll attack again. Got the lone Grimer out here just kind of holding it down. Probably going to see Mew EX to, retreat to the back. Probably come forward with the other Mewtwo EX. Oh, and there's Gardevoir. Well, that played out about perfect for them. And again, this will be the third match where my opponent has almost received a perfectly dealt hand. And I have a hand that I'm totally struggling with. They're using a leaf to retreat back. Must not have an X speed, but they definitely have the ability to move back. They're saving their Mew EX in the back. Excuse me, Mewtwo EX. And there's a side shot. 20 points of damage. My bench is looking pretty empty right now, so at least I got a Pokeball. Gonna go ahead and get this Venipede started. Now we'll go ahead and put Muk on the table. And with that, assign that third energy. Obviously my Muk would probably not last, or my Grimer would last long enough. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to go ahead and use a potion. And with that, I will go ahead. If I was to use Sabrina, we probably wouldn't see the Mew EX. We wouldn't see Gardevoir come forward. We'd see the other Mewtwo. And that one's actually probably a bigger. I'll go ahead and pull that card forward. My opponent's thinking this over a little bit. Oh, they're going to bring Mew back to the front. All right, that's an interesting thought. And so I'll go ahead and attack. Unfortunately, probably all I'm going to get. I've got the evolutions for Venipede, but I'm going to definitely be short on energy. Gardevoir is going to come in right here, power up that Mewtwo EX. Again, this is the third match where my opponents get almost a perfectly dealt hand. And that seems to be my pattern for the first hour every night I stream. Alright, so it's 1-2. my lone Pokemon onto the bench. Got a Pokeball, so let's bring the other one forward. Place down this Venipede. I'm looking at a big hit no matter what I do, so apply this 1 point energy. Okay. Whirlipede should probably be knocked out. There's a second Ralts. Gardevoir anchoring down this match. Last match it was Servitor coming up early, feeding energy. This match is Gardevoir coming up early, feeding energy. That ties it up at 2-2, but obviously my opponent is in the driver's seat. I'm not really looking at a whole lot of options here. Gonna go ahead and do this evolution. We know it's just it's not gonna happen, but we'll give my opponent the opportunity to win the match. They played well, and they had the good amount of dealt hand. Okay. So this will put one more loss than wins. There's a fourth energy. Side drive, bam. And it's over. Good match for my opponent. Great deal for my opponent. The overall poor deal. I've been behind the 8 ball on the majority of these matches. Okay. And on to the next match. I think actually that's 3 wins and 5 losses, now that I think about it. And I would say out of those 5 losses, 3 of them were just horrible dealt hand on my part and an amazing dealt hand to my opponent. Alright, so I've got Grimer and a Venipede. I'm going to put the Venipede to the bench just because there's an extra evolution involved with it, so it's going to take a little bit more time. Oh, my audio keeps dropping out. Thanks, Taylor, for letting me know. I didn't know I was having an audio problem. Let me take a look. I don't know if anyone else is having the same issue. I'm looking at my stats right now here in OBS Studio, and my microphone is showing, it looks like it's right where it needs to be for a dB level. Must have something else perhaps going on. All right, Professor's research. Venipede to the bench. So I've got three basics out so far, so that's not bad. And again, thanks Taylor for letting me know. I'll have to I'll keep looking at this while I'm playing. Nothing else for me to do. Okay. I know I have a few other people on, but I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that. Machop to the active spot. Cubone. Marowak EX coming my way. Grimer takes a big ol' hit from Machop. Okay, let's... I don't have my Leaf with me. Right now would be a great opportunity to have Leaf to pull back this Grimer. Because Grimer has, and Muk both have a 3 energy retreat. hence the putting the leaf card into this deck. So I don't have that with me yet, but let's see if Professor Oak can help me out. Brings me a Sabrina and a Pokeball. Another Grimer. I think what I'll do is put this Grimer to the bench. I've got both Grimers, both Mucks, so I might as well just take advantage of using them. I'm gonna forfeit being able to attack, but I have no choice because I know that I'm outmatched elsewise. Gonna go ahead and do a evolution to Whirlipede. I'm gonna assign this energy to I don't expect that Muck to be around too long, so whoop. I think I lost my energy. Taking too long. Alright, so Machoke in the active spot. 2 Cubones on the bench. Muck's barely hanging on. That's unfortunate that I lost that energy right as I was sliding it over. I'm going to ask Koga to step in and bail out my Muck. And with that, I'm looking at a 50-point attack. I'm going to ask... I'm going to go ahead and bring up my Scolipede. And with that, go ahead and get a Muk evolution going. Place a Grimer that just came back onto the bench. Gonna recycle these 2 cards. And with that, I'm going to end my turn. Okay. Taylor, I don't know if you're still on. You may have dropped already, but I don't know if I'm still having audio problems or if anyone else is experiencing that. I know I just have a few people on, so... Alright, there's a big hit right there. Beautiful looking card, too. It's got to be one of the best looking cards in the game. Alright, let's... Goodness. Again, the hands just aren't being dealt in my favor. Staring at a huge attack. Mega Punch 120. Plus the benefit. I'll just put in my Grimer. At this point, it's gonna go ahead and upgrade Muk. Alright, I'm going to assign this energy to the back one. I'm going to ask Sabrina to move that big old bad Machamp out of the way. And Cubone comes to the front. 1 energy retreat, so that's not too much. And with that... Okay, we got a Machoke upgrade in the back. Machamp to the front again. We know what's coming. X-Speed. And Machamp with 140. Alright. Definitely on the struggle bus right now. My opponent has scored twice. I don't have a whole lot of options. I'm going to bring this other Muk to the front. I'm going to go ahead and assign a second energy. Unfortunately, I can't attack. Leaf and Giovanni don't make sense, so I end my turn. It's just been a tough night of getting the correct hand dealt to me. A beautiful looking card. Sabrina asking Venipede to come to the front. Great move by my opponent. And with that, a slight bobble I saw waiting for opponent. Hopefully they don't disconnect. I've got this match finished. They just need to... There we go. One last attack. And with that, that match is over. Alright, so trying to do this event with this particular deck. 3 wins, 6 losses. And I would say 4 of those losses were where my opponent got a great deal and I got a pretty poor deal. 2 losses was just lost. Alright, let's go on to the next one. I usually stream for an hour or 2, so I'll go ahead and at least finish this match here. And I'll take a look and see if we've got much activity. If not, I'll probably go ahead and stop for tonight if we're still busy. Hey, Peter. How are you doing tonight, Peter? Okay. I'm going to put Grimer to the front. Venipede. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and start my battle. Peter, let me know if you hear my audio dropping out. I had another person, Taylor, mentioned that my audio was dropping. So I might be having some type of audio issue tonight. I've been checking my microphone and everything, all the stats. dB levels look good, looks responsive, so I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, Professor Oak, coming to help. I have Giovanni, Professor Oak, and Leaf all to help out. And let's see here. I am going to... Yeah, and I saw that about Wheezing. I have a Wheezing deck already, so I wanted to try something a little bit different. I wanted to go with a double Venoshock just to see how it would do. I was just kind of curious. So taking a slight twist on what I was seeing. I started out putting this deck with Wheezing, but then decided to, for fun, go with Muk instead. But yeah, probably be having better luck if I did that. Audio's having a little static when I speak. Okay, let me... I wonder if I'm getting interference from my... Let me reroute my cables here real quick. Might hear a little noise for a moment. Okay. Let me know if that's any better, Peter. Well, you would be the second person saying that there's some static or some type of audio issue, so likelihood it's probably on my part. Okay, well I need to... Got Grimer. Let's go with Professor's Research. Got an X-Speed, a Whirlipede. So, Whirlipede on the evolution. I'm going to hold off on the Muk because at least I want to try to get one more attack. I've got a Pidgeotto right in front of me here. With that, I'll go ahead and attack. And let's see where my opponent's going with this match. I've had static one other time. But nothing else should have changed. Is it still staticky, Peter? Or is it cleared up with that adjustment I just made? Okay. Alright, I just made a difference. Let me know if that clears it up or if it makes it worse. looks like I had a setting get adjusted. So let me know if that's any better. That could have made it worse, actually. Yeah. Try to keep up here real quick. Okay, I changed that back. Alright, so Pidgeot EX out to the active spot. I got a 1-0 early lead, but Muk's hurting for a little bit here. I'll keep working on my sound. You're going to hear a little bit of a muffle right there again. Alright, trying to stay focused here while playing. Venipede. Venipede to the bench. I think what I'm going to do at this point is use Leaf. And as well as this X speed. I'm going to go ahead and retreat back. I'm going to put in Venipede here. I want to see if I can't get a little damage going on Pidgeot before, and then I'll bring Muk back in. Okay. Seems like it's better. Okay. A broken robot trying to speak. Okay, well, hopefully it's better now. No wonder I was seeing everyone kind of dropping off. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to stick around with bad audio. Well, I'll have to take a look and rewire everything again. Okay, so I'm asked to swap back out, so we're going to send Scolipede to the front. With that, I'll go ahead and assign 1 energy. And I can't really do a whole lot, so doesn't make sense to use Giovanni. My poor opponent, they look like they've had the hands that I've been dealt most all the night, which is hardly getting anyone on the bench. Yeah, I think on my audio, I have to be more aware of where I seem to be receiving interference. The irony is I think I'm getting interference from my facial recognition system and the cable that goes with it. I might have to get a stronger shielded cable or something. Okay, so they've swapped out. I've got enough energy now that I can start making a push at this. I'll go ahead and apply second energy to Scolipede. And with that, I will do this. I will go ahead and play Sabrina. It's 1-1. I think I want to make a dent on that Pidgeot, damage-wise. So with that, I will go ahead and attack. Okay, so it's 1-1. This particular deck hasn't been doing too great tonight. But I just was kind of curious to see what a double Venoshock deck would look like. But to be fair to the deck, most of the hands I've been dealt haven't been very favorable. So I don't want to write off the deck yet just because of the performance. It's hard to win when you have an opponent that's going for a Servitor or a Gardevoir and they literally get 1 evolution every single turn. And that's kind of been what's been happening. Alright, so looking at I've got plus 20. So I will go ahead and I'm going to give this extra energy to my Muk. I'm going to go ahead and attack here with the plus 20. That takes that one out. Might be the inner, yeah. If it's better now, I rerouted my cable, so if it's better now, the cables aren't anywhere near each other. All right, Pidgeot. EX, so here comes the flute. Now if they got their Sabrina, oh bummer, they didn't have a Sabrina. There was what I was trying to do all last night. And with that, it's a tie at 2. However, Muk's going to come in, hence the reason I kept it on the bench. And yep, my opponent. All right. That puts me at 4 wins, 5 losses. Definitely better now. Okay, thanks Peter for letting me know. Yet another little lesson to learn on this whole process of streaming. Okay. Thanks, Kai, for that match. If I can win this one, I can at least get back to an even. I win the coin flip. Gonna go ahead and put grammar. Yeah, actually I'm gonna go Venipede to the front since I'm sitting on a Whirlipede. Grammar to the bench. And start my battle. So again, the thought on this deck is having Venoshock on 2 different Pokemon, each with their pre-evolution applying poison, given those final evolutions an opportunity to do 120 points of damage. 2 Pokeballs. Let me go ahead and play both of those real quick. Gonna bring out a second Grimer, followed by a second Venipede. Go ahead and place that down. I have no energy or anything else I can do on this first turn, and with that, on to turn 2. All right, here we go. Observator. Who is it going to be paired with? Oh, okay. Well, there's that answer to that question. Here is probably the single most popular deck that's floating around. Okay, so let's go with a Whirlipede. Oh, hold on. Yeah. I want to make sure I got enough energy before I do the evolution. I'm going to go ahead and apply that energy. I'm going to go ahead and evolve the second Venipede. And also go ahead and use Professor's Research. Wow, 12,000 owned cards. Holy moly. That's, I wonder how much it costs. I've spent some money, more for just streaming purposes, and I'm only at like 2,000 cards. Or 2,600 cards, somewhere in there. I can't imagine 12,000 cards. Holy moly. Yeah, you would probably definitely be maxed out at level 50. Wow. But then that's probably why this game is making as much money as they are. Okay. Waiting for my opponent. Snivy. Poisoned. Celebi to the front. Gonna protect that Snivy back there. And look at there. There's already the evolution. Now what I need is, I need a Sabrina. I need Sabrina to come help me out. My opponent's got the same idea. So, I'm gonna go with the Whirlipede. Just because I know that I need 3 energy to bring back Grimer or Muk. I don't have Leaf in my hand. I'm sitting on all these Pokemon right now. So with that, let's go ahead and get some evolutions going. Again, both Muk and Scolipede have Venoshock. I'm not going to be able to attack either way. So if Servitor shows up, I know that there's trouble coming right away, but there's not a whole lot I can do. So I will go for... I'm just going to go ahead and put this energy on the front one. And end my turn. Yeah, that's the way to do it. You can definitely be competitive with free-to-play. As long as you're not trying to, you know, dive into some of those larger tournaments, just for casual play, free-to-play should work great. Oh. Looks like having another technical difficulty. There's 2. And of course, my opponent was able to get their Servitor. So again, I'm back into the same situation where my opponents, for the most part, are getting exactly what they need, where I'm struggling to get the right cards to play. So, energy to Scolipede, and we'll go ahead and throw an attack. Knock down that Celebi down to 60. So we know basically we're going to see there's another Celebi EX. Now my opponent has some flexibility. Well, they stacked up all the energy there, so that's they're going for it. Six coin flips coming my way. Let's see how much pain. 100 points. They only needed 1, so... Okay, so Trader off to the early lead. Plus having Servitor, 2 Celebi EXs, so they're in a great spot. And... I'm going to place this here. Don't know if I'm going to be able to overcome this. I'm going to go ahead and use Giovanni as well. Brings my opponent down to 30, but I know I'm up against some major coin flips. Yep, that's kind of my thoughts too, Peter. Other than I just got the streaming part kind of going. I've been exploring streaming of different games for about 3.5 months now. And but as far as actual gaming, I'm not looking for anything super competitive. All right, well, bad coin flips for my opponent on that one. However, I don't have what I need. I'm at 70. My opponent's sitting on 80. Just gonna be a little bit short. Need another Giovanni. They're up 1-0. I'm facing a knockout coming up. Unless my opponent gets another horrible coin flip. And level 50, Peter, man, I think that's going to take a long time to get to. I guess it really comes down to how many kind of PvP matches, but at, what, 15 XP, it's really the pack openings is the only way it really seems you can really level up your character, but Then again, what does it really buy us? Okay, here we go. And they got it. That's a 2-0 lead. Again, it seems like every time I come up to a deck that needs Gardevoir or Servitor, they get it right away. I just have no answer to stop that. It's just like they're just immediately getting what they need. Okay, I'm up there. With that, I'll place this energy here, and I'm just going to hang on for the ride. We could be facing 8 coin flips coming up. Yeah, a number of people at crazy level 50 very early on. And you probably, I don't know how many packs they were buying. I mean, when this new expansion came out, I hit the limit for how many packs it would let me spend gold on. And with that limit, I think I went from level 30 to level 34. Now, less XP is needed at those earlier levels, but I can imagine once you get up into 40 and something. And I think on that one, I bought like 100 gold or something. I wasn't at all a budget gamer on that night. Okay. So with that, a defeat. And let's continue on. Thanks to my opponent. Level 27. No emblems. Let's see what I'm up against this time. All right. Scolipede. And I still haven't even done my solo battles yet. Typically, I like to just put another streamer on TV. I usually will sit on the couch or lay on the couch or something and put a streamer on in the background and kind of have the ambiance of Pokemon Pocket on the TV and then kind of playing at the same time. I've always enjoyed the video games having some type of streamer on in the background and then gaming at the same time. Okay, Grammar to the bench. Pokeball. Oh, Pokeball. Got a Venipede to the bench. Sitting on a Muk, Scolipede, and Sabrina. And with that, let's get started. Okay. So Charizard EX, maybe Arcanine EX. That's been the latest combo that's been popular. 27 XP at 43. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. You're definitely not getting it for a while if you're just doing PvP matches, that's for sure, at 15 a shot. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is go ahead and get... I'm going to leave Muk in my hand for a little bit. Start with Professor's Research. Well, things might change now, my thought process. I'm going to go ahead, evolve to Scolipede. I'm going to go ahead and apply this energy here. And I'll go ahead and do this while I can. And with that, I will attack. Oh, that's great. Alright, so we got a Charizard. Kabutops? Is that what I'm looking at? Moltres EX. Of course, they might not actually have. I don't see any fighting energy in their energy zone. So maybe they're just using that for one extra card as a filler slot to make sure they don't run short of basic Pokemon on the bench. As the energy zone's definitely not switching up. Moltres. Trying to heat up the bench right now. Let's see how well Moltres does. Okay. 1 out of 3. Charmeleon in the back. Opponent's one step closer. Unleashing their Charizard. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and go... I think what I'm going to do is apply this energy back here. I'm going to try to get this poison started. Okay. All right. Well, if this follows suit, they're going to get a Charizard EX. Yep. This is how my night's been going. Every turn they get another evolution. Alright, so we know what's coming up pretty soon. They just need to use like an X speed if they want to pull back. Nope, they're going to go for a little more energy. No EX Blade build deck. Yeah, I'm going to play that one again a little bit tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm streaming just to try to win. I'm either going to play the Blaine deck, my Island Blaine, with the other A1As, or I'm going to... okay, so I'm going to do Scolipede, or I'll just go straight to my Mewtwo EX deck, which I usually have the best luck with. And not going to play Sabrina, not going to play an X speed. So with that, I'm going to attack. Just going to focus on trying to win a little bit more. Instead, each night, you know, right now, I just kind of like to experiment with all these kind of off decks. Just to give everyone a chance to kind of take a look and see what they look like. Obviously, the Pokemon Flute one. That one was interesting. Okay. Charizard. Sitting in the active spot. 6 energy, 170 health, no bench. Charizard against the world. 200 points of damage. Goodness, goodness. Alright, I need to do something quick here. I think I'm going to, based on what I have in my hand, I am going to go with Grimer. Because I want to get a poison started early. Of course, now I get a Whirlipede, but... yeah, and I can't retreat, so... I'm going to do that Whirlipede. So I just had it before. But with that... I got an X speed I can sit on, so with that I'll start this poison process. We know big hits are coming each turn here. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Don't know if I'm going to have enough energy to make this work. Alright, there's 2. Yep, I'm just gonna fall just a bit short. It's a bummer. No matter what I do, it's over. Oh well. That was a good try. Genetic Apex Rapidash. Okay. That's the, Peter, that's the 40, just the straight 40 attack damage one, right? Not the coin flip one. Good match for my opponent. They got their Charizard going. They had, that was a good match. Thanks. Yeah, the one I'm using will have the A1A versions of both the Ponyta and the Rapidash. Give it a try tomorrow night, and if I'm just not doing well, I'll just kick over to Mewtwo. It's been a while since I actually just played an actually strong, you know, a superiorly strong deck. Although this weekend I'm going to be tuned into Limitless TCG. And I'm really curious to see. I'm going to look at a bunch of tournaments. I'm curious to see what the new meta is going to look like. Yeah, not the coin flip one. Yeah. Yeah, you either win by it or lose by it, one of the two. So taking the non-coin flip one, you at least got a nice consistent approach to things. All right, waiting for my opponent to set up. I'm about an hour and a half into the stream. I finally got some good sound. I'll be going for about a half hour more, and then after that, that'll be it for the night. And then I'll be back on again, same time this stream started tomorrow night. Just grinding for wins on the emblem event. 45 is what it takes to get all the way through it. So definitely going to take some wins to make that happen. Let's go. Professor's Research. Yeah, yep. Limitless site's pretty cool. All right, so I've got a whole... Okay, not a whole lot I can do. Articuno EX. So, are we going to see Greninja? Are we going to see Misty? Let's see what's in store. This is the first water deck I think I've come up against tonight. I've seen a lot of psychic decks, a lot of grass decks, a couple of fighting decks. But this is the first water. Yeah, the Ursi tournament, and I know she streams as well. Her tournaments are usually the largest one. At least the last 5 weeks of that I've done a review and put some content out. Her tournament on Saturday is always the largest one. 17, 18, 1600 opponents. Okay, let's see what my opponent's got going here. Pokeball. But yeah, there's definitely some new spice in the game now, so it's kind of getting fun. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've played a little bit of TCG. We play some here at the house, and it's fun. It just there's just so much more going on, and I think that's why I'm really kind of been I gravitate and been attracted to the Pocket version. But I have some friends who don't even care for the Pocket version because it's way too simple for them. Okay, Whirlipede Evolution. Gonna go ahead and assign energy. Got a Giovanni. I'm gonna go ahead and use Giovanni now. It's 1-on-1. Neither of us have anything on the bench. So with that, let's poison a Sting. Yeah, I definitely like Pocket better as well, but a couple of my friends are pretty competitive, and well, one, they like the whole physical card collecting part. They've done some online as well, but they're more into the actual physical cards, and so there's that whole aspect of it, running around to different stores, running around to different hobby places. So they really like that part of it as well. Alright, so my opponent's poisoned, sitting on 2 energy. They're playing a red card. Hopefully they'll give me something to put on the bench. Thank you. That actually helped me out. Although it was timely for them, because I did have a Scolipede, which, unless they get somebody on the bench, would have done 120 points of damage. So in this case, that red card, while it helped me, it actually saved them, though. Okay, they're thinking things over. They really need some help. Okay. Not sure exactly what's going on there. Pokeball. Well, I went from only having 1 Pokemon to at least now my bench is looking much stronger thanks to that red card. Go ahead and add this point of energy to my Grimer. And with that, I'll attack. They're really in need of some bench help. This is how my hands have been most all the night, as it's been real on the struggle bus to get my bench going. Alright, so they've got a blizzard lined up. Still nothing on the bench. Man, I feel bad for them. Sports cards, yeah. Yeah, I used to collect sports cards with my son. And we'd run around town, try to get all the hottest, latest packs and everything else. We were into basketball. We did a lot of basketball. Another Articuno EX to the bench. There we go. Opponent's really kind of thinking through things, using up all their time, which is fine. And they're attacking. That was a good attack on their part. I'm down to 10. I'm on the struggle bus a little bit for making things happen. Oop. I want it to go there. Come on, Professor Research. I need some help. But it's not there. Man. Just, a struggle here on both sides. Go ahead and put this Grimer on the table. And I'm going to go ahead and use... Well, the potion really is not going to buy me anything. So with that said, I will attack. Alright, I would think that... Well, if they retreat, then they're going to give up all their... Well, 2 energy. Let's see what they're going to do. They're kind of in a tough spot. Let's see. NBA cards. Oh, yeah. When I was collecting basketball cards, this will kind of give my age away a little bit, but we were running after, when my son was really into it, we were running after Shaquille O'Neal rookie cards. Of course, now he's already retired. But at the time we were running around for Shaq rookies, we picked up a Jordan Fleer. So that was kind of, and it's been sitting in a safe deposit box in the bank for many, many years now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out this a heck of a time to retreat with the Grimer. So I'm going to go with Whirlipede. Basically, I'm facing a double knockout here because they're going to get 10 points to the bench for the Blizzard. So, good move by my opponent. They're kind of in the driver's seat right now. If I can get a Muk card, I can kind of shift this around, but I don't have any points. So that gives them a double right there. So that was great. Now if I can... I basically got to go for the gamble. So it's like Grimer to the front. I really need to see this Muk card. Ah! And it doesn't happen. Goodness. So I'll ask Sabrina to bring Articuno forward. Perhaps my opponent's got the X speed to bring that other Articuno back. Let's see. Yep, Shaq, Jordan. Yeah, Fleer rookie card. Although I guess there's one rookie card before Jordan that was actually more of his true rookie card, but that one was always way out of our price range and everything when we were looking for it. The Fleer was the lower cost one. Well, we did that for a few years, and then we kind of moved on to something else. All right, my turn. Goodness, goodness, goodness. I cannot... Doesn't really matter where... I'll put this energy back here, because I know if I ever do get a chance to attack with Muk, I'm going to go ahead, might as well use this right now. Not going to make a difference. And I will attack. So, this match... even if I... Yeah, I really needed that Muk card. Just not getting the cards I need at the times I need them, unfortunately, tonight. Yeah, I think that's the other one. I think that was the other one. It was just some crazy one. It was from some other pack, not the Flair version. It was just ridiculous how much that one was. All right, Articuno is healed. Articuno has 1 energy. Blue stepping up to protect everybody. This has been a long, kind of painful match. Nowhere to be found are my Muk cards. My opponent has definitely been thinking through everything. Very interesting match we got going here. And still not a Muk card. Oh my goodness. I cannot... Well, it's over at this point. My opponent will be able to retreat, bring the other card forward, and finish this match. Just cannot get the cards I need when I needed them. That's been my story tonight. Seems like that's always my story. I wonder if I'm the only one who every single night that they're playing for an hour or two is just always battling the hands dealt. Seems like that's always what I'm up against. What kind of hand did I get dealt? All right. I would assume my opponent's going to retreat here. The retreat clears the poison. But, okay, yep. Cool. I don't think you'll need that Giovanni, but I'm gonna let my opponent play this out. They earned the victory. Although they're really, really lengthening out this match. Salandit looks pretty cool. That's another Venoshock attack, if I remember right. Alright, I'm not sure exactly what my opponent's got going, but I guess it doesn't really matter. They're up 2-0. I don't know. I'm just not quite getting what's happening here. But at least that'll bring it closer. But if I would have had a little bit more health, maybe I had a potion or something, I could absorb this 80-point attack. But unfortunately, it's 80 is right where I'm at. So just not in the cards, so to speak, for me tonight. Yeah, they. That's what I was thinking of doing too. I was just going to have it right there as a basic, just to have one more Venoshock. And the way my hands, again, the way my hands have been playing tonight, it probably would be helpful with this particular deck. You know, maybe swap out the Muk for Wheezing, and then still have the Scolipede evolution set, and then have one of those as well. I think that would be a really good option. We got about one match left. As a matter of fact, I might just go do that real quick, and we'll take a quick peek at what that looks like. Thank you. That was the longest, slowest match. Well-earned victory. Good job to my opponent. Okay, so let's go to decks real quick. Let me just throw something up. Let's remove Grammar. Muk. Oops, I hit potion by mistake. Muk. I'll come back to that in a moment. Well, that's probably... I'll fix that real quick. So let's go with coughing. I'm gonna go with the regular one right now. Go with the wheezing. Let's see. Smoke screen is 2 for 50. And this is, but I want that poison. So I'm gonna go with this one. And I won't need Leaf. So I'll get rid of Leaf. I'll keep Koga. Matter of fact, I'll add a second Koga. And then I've got move Giovanni, add a second Sabrina. This will just be a quick. And then one potion. Something along this line. Okay. Let's go try this. Yeah, I've seen that pairing. I don't know, for some reason I'm not just the biggest fan of it yet. So I'm gonna stick with the one I'm a little more comfortable with right now. Okay, let's see how this goes. All right, one, maybe two more matches. We'll wrap it up for the night. Tomorrow night, I'm just grinding for victories. Going to start off with my Island Blaine deck. I was having fun playing it the other night, but I was trying to play for a different reason, so I wasn't necessarily doing all the right things. So I'd like to actually try it again. However, I'm more focused on grinding, so if that Blaine deck's not cutting it, I'm going to go straight to probably a Mewtwo EX. I also have a Celebi deck ready to go too. Servitor. All right, coughing to the active spot. Nothing else going on. Start the battle. And with that, I'm going to start with Pokeball. Always Pokeball ahead of Professors. Venipede now to the bench. Professor Oak going to step up, hopefully help me out. Going to bring me a Weezing and a potion. And with that, I end my turn. And this Magmar I added one more Pokemon, if you remember, Peter, because I was struggling with not having enough basics. And I was actually looking at this Magmar as a potential to add. But I think I ended up going with like a Farfetch'd or something like that. Okay, Leaf. Gonna ask Magmar to come back. Moltres to the active spot. Good old Inferno Dance. Gonna try to heat up the bench. Got a whole bench of fire Pokemon sitting there just waiting for some energy. 2 out of 3. Over to Vulpix. So this is an interesting combination. Moltres with Ninetales. Looks like we going to go ahead and I'm going to apply this energy here. Whirlipede evolution on the backside, on the bench. Weezing to the front. And with that, we're going to go ahead and do an ability. And along with that, we'll go ahead and do a tackle. Okay. Ninetales. Where's Ninetales? Moltres EX would be good with the Blaine deck, but the whole idea of Blaine deck for me is to keep at budget level, no EX cards. Not so good on the Magmars. You don't have a Moltres yet. Yeah, I'm still trying to track down Zapdos cards. I don't know why so I don't have a Zapdos. Even with the stuff I have purchased for streaming purposes, I also still don't have the Pidgeot EX and the Taurus from the new expansion. Okay, so Moltres has got 2 energy. I am now going to do an evolution to Scolipede there. I'm going to go ahead and place this 1 energy over on it, since Weezing only needs 1 energy to do its tackle. Got a Pokeball, so let's go ahead and use that. Venipede. Pokeball summons a Venipede. Venipede's going to the bench, sitting on 2 Kogas. Don't need to use Koga right now at the moment, but I am going to go ahead and land a Gas Leak. It's already there, and another tackle. Alright, Moltres EX down to 50. Yeah, and there's Rapidash, okay. So we're basically almost looking at a Blaine deck with a little bit mixture of Moltres and Magmar. Okay. Blaine stepping up. And Wheezing goes down. Good play on my opponent's part. They take the early lead, 1-0. Yeah, Heatmore. Heatmore is a good one. I don't use Farfetch this week to lightning meta on physical meta. Yeah, that's a great point. I'll have to look at Heatmore. I'll take a look at that one, Peter. Thanks for the suggestion. All right. Scolipede to the active spot. Unfortunately, my person up front, the Pokemon up front, is not poisoned. Gonna go ahead and assign this second energy, though. And with that, Venoshock. I was hoping to actually use my Koga. Blaine just showed up at an untimely point. There's a 90-point attack. Rapidash sitting back there with 2 energy. So I'm going to go ahead and use this potion. With that, I'm going to Whirlipede for energy. And with that, I'll attack. That ties it up at 1-1. Most likely, I'm thinking we're going to see Rapidash with the coin flip. Oh, nope, they're going to... Oh, yeah, that's right. Fire Blast, 80 points. Good move by my opponent. Wasn't even thinking about Magmar. Another Vulpix to the bench. And the tough part about that card is they're going to discard both energy. That's the part that I struggled with that one. Alright. My opponent's up 2-1. My bench is looking a little bit weak right now. Let's bring... I might as well do Sabrina. Hoping to finish the last match of the night with a win, but it's a little bit of a struggle right now. Let's just see what we can make do here. Alright, so energy going here. Vulpix soaking up some of the damage. Rapidash is one attack and a coin flip away from making this match complete. Okay. Coughing. To the bench. Go ahead and give Coughing an energy. And we'll attack. Not a whole lot else I really got going. So that ties it up. But again, we're looking at Magmar with an 80-point shot. This would be the case. Okay. And there's Blaine. And with that, very well played by my opponent. Okay. Fire Blast 5/5 move in red version. I kind of remember it. Nice. All right. Well, so I would say overall, I won with that poison deck. Maybe about 30% of those matches. So not impressive by any means. But it was fun trying to Venoshock. So tomorrow night, I'll be back on at 8 p.m. West Coast time. Basically 2 hours. Roll forward another day, minus 2 hours. I'll be back on. I'll be starting off with the Blaine deck, then I'll be moving into Mewtwo EX. And the thought process on that is, unlike the last 4 or 5 streams where I've been testing out random, kind of unique, somewhat spicy or a little bit different decks, trying out new cards, I'm just going to focus more on trying to win. So I'll start off with Blaine. If Blaine's not doing it for me, I'll move over to Mewtwo, and literally just going to kind of grind. Ask if you want to join me, maybe play some games on the side, just kind of keep me in the background. Feel free to can also visit. So thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate the support. And as always, I hope you have a good rest of your night, your morning, your afternoon, or your evening. And as always, let's battle. And Peter, thanks for joining. Thanks for the conversation. I'll definitely catch up with you again. Really appreciate you tuning in. Very much appreciated. Sincerely. Thanks.